when I started dating Tanya, and she's the sister of Mike Kuchai, if you guys know that evangelist. So we started dating, and I was really into missions, into India. And so one evening, I came to her and I said, honey, if we get married and I say, let's move to India, will you move with me to India? That was my way of saying, honey, do you share this life purpose with me? Her answer was, yes, I will. We got married 2 months into our marriage. We moved to Oklahoma for 4 years. It wasn't India, but it was Oklahoma. And my wife was the biggest encourager. 24 hours ago, I messaged my wife, honey, there's this baby. Can we take it? 3 hours later, the baby's living with us already. And my wife, man, just loving this baby like it's her own. Okay? So, because we share a common life purpose, it makes life much more easier. If we're on different waves, I'm really for this, I'm really for missions, and she's really for serving the home church. It's a little different common, mission, common life purpose.
Marriage.
If you feel like you're called to be a businessman and empower different ministries, and your wife feels like she's a prayer warrior, she needs to be every night at her prayer. It's a little different life purposes. And so, one, do we share a common life purpose? Number two, is this the right person? Ask yourself, do I feel safe sharing my feelings and thoughts with this person? Feeling safe means you can communicate openly with this person. It means you're going to say, I won't get punished for being honest. Okay? An abusive person makes you afraid to express your thoughts and your feelings. Be honest with yourself. Make sure you feel emotionally safe with the person you plan to marry. Is this a person you can tell, hey, I've got this struggle in my life? Me and my wife, we have a date night, and once a month in our date night, we do this thing to where she says 3 things that she's being bothered by right now. Okay? Russell, you need to change this, and it's usually the same. Russell, you need to be home at least one night a week. Russell, you need to, this, and and then it's my turn. I say, honey, 3 things. And you know what? If the person, you've got to make sure that the person if this is the right person, that you feel safe sharing, hey, I love you, you're great, but you really need to change this about you. I remember when I got married, the first thing my wife did, you know what she did? All my shirts, she threw them away. All my shirts. I was really into, I had yellow, red, orange, blue. I had a rainbow of colors. And she was one of those people that liked dark colors. And so, like black or dark blue.
Dark gray.
Yeah, dark gray. And so, we got married, and she sat down with me and said, honey, all your shirts, they're gone. And so she felt comfortable with me telling me these kind of things. You've got to, the person, is he the right person? Well, do you feel safe saying, hey, I love you, but I really don't like your this or this? So you got to be able to feel safe. Number 3, is this a person who's a refined and sensitive person? What I mean by that? Does this person work on personal growth on a regular basis? Is this person serious about improving himself or herself? Is this someone who's always striving to do good and to do the right thing? What does this person do with his or her time? Is this person materialistic? When we got married, I was in real estate, and I was in real estate when it was good, okay, for about 1.5 years. Right before we got married, I got into real estate. In 1.5 years, I sold $5 million worth of real estate. Okay. For some of you who can do the math, I made a lot of money. My wife, she's an RN. RN's working full-time. She makes a lot of money. Okay, and so we got married. We bought a house for $400,000. Okay, before we even got married, we bought the house, down payment, all making good money. And the house was being built right when we got married. And so for 2 months, we had to live at my brother's house, which is, just, it was, turned out. And so 2 months into our marriage, we finally moved into our house. Okay. But before we even moved into that house, we felt like we need to go to Oklahoma. I need to go to Bible school. And my wife, I knew I wouldn't be in real estate anymore. we wouldn't have this house anymore. We'd end up living who knows where in Oklahoma. And my wife, she said, I'm ready. I'm ready to surrender all that. And so I had to ask, is this someone who's refined and sensitive? Is she materialistic? I had to make sure that this answer was answered correctly. So if you're seeing someone right now and they're really materialistic, really into themselves, they're not the right person for you. I'm sorry if there's a breakup after tonight. The fourth question I would ask is this: how does he or she treat others? Okay? Is this someone who enjoys giving pleasure to others, or is he wrapped up in himself or herself and self-absorbed? How does he or she treat people whom he or she does not have to be nice to, such as a waiter in the restaurant? If you go on a date and he snaps his fingers and he's mad and he's upset and he doesn't pay a tip, she was a bad waiter, what's up with you? What kind of bad service is this? He's going to treat you like that. He's going to treat you like that.
Sooner or later.
Sooner or later. Does this individual show respect? How does this person treat parents or siblings? Does he or she have gratitude and appreciation for their mom and dad, brother and sister? Is he bossy? Okay. If you talk to them, you're driving in the car, you're dating, and everything's perfect. He's so nice to you, but the moment mom calls, "Что ты хочешь?" Prepare yourself. A year later, that's how he's going to answer your call. Prepare yourself. So is he or she the right person? Just because they raise their hands during worship does not make them the right person. How does he or she treat others? How does he treat people who really don't need to be treated that nice? Does he or she gossip and speak badly about others? You can be sure that someone who treats others poorly will eventually treat you as poorly as well. Yeah. So if you're married to somebody who's really not nice to others, dump him. Not married, I'm sorry, dating. Woo! Dating. If you're married, that's it. Okay? If you're married, this one's for you. The fifth question I would ask is this: is there anything I'm hoping to change about this person after we get married? Okay. Too many people make the mistake of marrying someone with the intention of trying to improve him or her. You can expect most people will change after marriage for the worst, not for the better. If you cannot fully accept someone the way they are now, then you are not ready to marry them. Falling in love is a great feeling. However, when you wake up married, you don't want to find yourself in trouble because you didn't do your homework. Okay? So if you're dating right now and you've already got a list going, well, I'm going to change this about him, I'm going to change this about him, and this, and this, and this, you need to throw that list away. If you cannot fully accept that person as they are, then you're going to struggle in your marriage. You'll be married, and the certificate will say you're married, but love, the emotions, there will not be there. Okay, so you know it's not this when you're dating or you're thinking about dating. Oh, the love will be there, the emotion will be there. Everything's going to be pink around you. It really will. Nevertheless, you need to come to a point, get into a room where the room is not pink, and ask yourself these 5 questions. Okay? Ask yourself, do we share a common life purpose? Do I feel safe sharing my feelings and thoughts with this person? Is this person who's refined and sensitive? Is he growing? Is he reading books? Is he willing to change? Or is he so self-absorbed? Is he, if you tell him, hey, do you want to read a marriage book together? And he's like, marriage book together? I can write marriage books. He's not the right person. He's not the right, because we all have areas to improve in. We all have areas to improve in. And if he's not willing, or if she's not willing to improve in areas and take advice, he's not refined and sensitive. Number 4, how does he or she treat others? How does he treat his family? How does he treat a waiter? Those are important questions. And 5th, am I hoping to change something about him? Because if you are, quit. Drop him. Drop her. So if you can answer those 5 questions, and you're attracted to that individual, then they're the right person.
Question answered. I think a lot of people, been described here like, oh my goodness, I'm in a problem here. What if he or she heard this and think differently about me now?
And let me just add this: if you're 23 and single, my goodness, you don't have to be depressed already because you're single and 23. I hate it in our culture where you have to feel
Is it like the end of the world?
Yeah,
if you're 23
man,
and not married?
you're 19 years old, and if you're not married, that's it. Depression. No, it's better to get married at 33, and to the right person who's refined and sensitive, than to get married to somebody at 19 and never be able to open your heart up and emotions up before this person, because this person is abusive. This person does not want to listen to you. You're going to end up going to sleep wanting to share something with your individual, wanting to share something with them, and you can't, because they're not willing to listen. They don't love you for who you are. Okay? Maybe they're just in love because of lust with your body. So, yeah. Love, the emotion of love it's really hard to determine whether it's love or lust. It's really hard in dating. And so, don't just assume, well, just because we know Jesus and we say we love each other, that means it's love. You've got to ask these questions.
We're going to have time for one more question if we have. Is there any more question? I think we got one more question up there. Okay,
we're not going to get into dating traps today.
Okay, it looks like there's any more. Is there any questions that anybody wanted to ask? You can get a microphone and ask a question. Okay, if there isn't any more questions.
My last suggestion is, some people say, so how do you, last thing I'm going to say about finding the right person is that this is my formula, okay? Run for Jesus. Run for Jesus. And from time to time, look to the side to see who's running with you. After a while, you'll notice that some individuals who are just running with you at the same pace that you are. Okay? I was running for Jesus. I was going to India, Monday night prayers here with Grandpa Rachuk. I was going everywhere, just loving Jesus. And every time I'd look to the side, I'd see Tanya Huchai. I go to India. Listen, I go to India 2 months later. She's in India. Literally. I went to India for a month. She went to India for 3 months, serving in the hospital. I'm like, man, everywhere I go. I went to Northwest College. She went to Northwest College. I go to prayer. She's at prayer. I'm running for Jesus, and I'm looking to the side. I'm like, you're always running with me. And so I just kind of started running kind of closer to her. Eventually, I just said, hey, listen, can we just continue to run together for the rest of our lives? And we're still running.
Since we're running anyway.
We're still running. But if you're going to stop, okay, well, I'm 23, time to get married. Time to hit the panic button. You stop and you start to look around. Guess who you're going to notice? The people who are also stopped. Okay? And so you get married, and the next day you're like, okay, let's run. And you notice you guys are running in separate directions. You guys are running at a different pace, and all of a sudden you begin to have problems. Okay? So run for Jesus, and from time to time look to the side.
Okay, one last question. Abuse, I think, is one of the worst situations, and as we talked, there's physical abuse, material abuse, and there's emotional abuse. I think which is the most common. And I just wanted to read this.